Hi everyone! Ozzy's been very, very busy today. He's been playing mermaids because he's chosen this book today. It's called The Singing Mermaid. And Ozzy has dressed up. He's just taken them off. You've just missed him. But he was dressed up in his mermaid's outfit, all sparkling and shimmering, and he was pretending that the blue carpet was the sea. And he was diving and ducking and playing with all the other sea creatures, weren't you, Ozzy? He's being a bit of an imaginative player today. So he'd like us to read this story to you. It's called The Singing Mermaid, and it's by Julia Donaldson. You know that author, don't you? She's written lots of stories, hasn't she? I bet you've got some on your shelf. And Lydia Monks did these beautiful illustrations. The Singing Mermaid. Did you ever go to Silver Sands on a sunny summer's day? Then perhaps you saw the mermaid who sang in the deep blue bay. She sang to the fish in the ocean, to the haddock, the hake and the ling, and they flashed their scales and swished their tails to hear the mermaid sing. And sometimes the singing mermaid swam to the silvery shore. She sat and combed her golden hair, and then she sang some more. She sang to the cockles and mussels, she sang to the birds on the wing, and the seashells clapped and the seagulls flapped to hear the mermaid sing. When Sam Sly's circus came to town, Sam took a stroll by the sea. He heard the mermaid singing and he rubbed his hands with glee. He said, "I can make you famous. I can make you rich," he said. "You shall swim in a pool of marble and sleep on a fine feather bed. You shall sing for the lords and the ladies. You shall sing for the queen and the king. And young and old will pay good gold to hear the mermaid sing." Don't go," cried the seagulls, and the seashells warned, "He lies." But the mermaid listened to old Sam Sly and smiled as she waved her goodbyes. Do you think she should listen? I don't think he's very nice. And he took her away to the circus, and she sang to the crowds round the ring. And more, more, more came the deafening roar when they heard the mermaid sing. Now the mermaid shared a caravan with Annie the acrobat, and Ding and Dong the circus dogs, and Bella the circus cat. And she made good friends with the jugglers, and the man who swallowed fire, and the clown with the tumble-down trousers, and the woman who walked on wire. But she wasn't friends with old Sam Sly. No, she didn't care for him, for he made her live in a fish tank, and there wasn't even room to swim. And there was no pool of marble, there was no feather bed, and when she begged him, "Set me free," he laughed and shook his head. All summer long the circus toured, all autumn, winter, spring. And many a crowd cheered long and loud to hear the mermaid sing. But the mermaid dreamed of silver sands, and she longed for the deep blue sea. And her songs grew sad, and again she said, "I beg you, set me free." But again he laughed and shook his head. And he told her, "No such thing. Here you will stay whilst people pay to hear the mermaid sing." At Silver Sands a seagull was flying to his nest when on the breeze he heard a song, the song which he loved the best. Do you know what it could be? I think you're right. And he followed the song to the caravan. Sam Sly was about to lock it. The seagull watched as he turned the key and slipped it inside his pocket. The seagull waited till Sam had gone, then he perched on the windowsill And tap, tap, tap at the window, he tapped with his yellow bill. Come back to Silver Sands, it's only a mile away. I can find the key and set you free if you'll come back home to the bay. Escape, barked the dogs, escape, mewed the cat. But the mermaid sighed, I'd fail, for how could I walk to Silver Sands when I only have a tail? Like this, cried Annie the acrobat, and she stood upon her hands. This is the way, the only way to get to Silver Sands. Right hand, left hand, tail up high, there's really nothing to it. If I give you lessons every night, you'll soon learn how to do it. Can you see her walking on her hands? Can you do that? I can't. Next week, while Sam was snoring, the seagull stole the key. He carried it off to the caravan and set the mermaid free. As he flew ahead to guide her, as she walked upon her hands, all along the moonlit road that led to Silver Sands. And the creatures on the seashore and the fish beneath the foam jumped and splashed and danced with joy to have their mermaid home. And she sang to the cockles and mussels, she sang to the birds on the wing, and the seashells clapped and the seagulls flapped to hear the mermaids sing. And if you go down to Silver Sands and swim in the Bay of Blue, perhaps you'll see the mermaid, and perhaps she'll sing for you. And that is the end. So our story today is called The Singing Mermaid, and as normal we're going to look at some of our sight words and see if we can hear them in the story. Okay, so listen out for she, listen out for some, listen out for there. Can you remember which there this is? Because we've got two different types of there, haven't we? We've got there and we've got there. This one is when it belongs to somebody, and this there is when it's over there. You're also going to hear friends, because the mermaid in the story has lots of good friends, you'll see why. And you will also hear the word said. It's got that tricky bit in it, hasn't it? Do you remember? The A and the I saying said. There's also two very small little sight words in the story, to and the. I joined up my TH on my the. I expect you could practice your joins at home. Listen out for these words as well. We've got some split digraphs in this book, and I managed to find all the split vowel digraphs. Look, I found some words with A. I found some words with E. I found some words with I. And I found some words with O. But I looked and I looked and I looked, and I could not find any with U in them. So we've got A, E, I, O, but no U in this book. The A split digraph, we've got A, make, and we've got S, K, A, escape, because the mermaid needs to escape from something. You're going to find out what. We've got E, here. We've got the split digraph I in, inside, inside. I wonder what she's going to be trapped inside. We've got I, wire. And we've got I, like. And then the split digraph O that I found O, home, and then this word was in the book and it tricked me. Look, I thought it was a split digraph O. Can you see here? Go-o. But then when I read it, gone didn't make sense. I realised then that it said go-o-n and that the E was silent. So it was gone. So it wasn't a split digraph O in that word at all. But good job I tried both ways, isn't it? You have to try these things. So, I've got a dictation for you to do today as a little challenge. Have you got your little home learning books and your pencils? If not, go and get them. If you have already got it, you can count a countdown for the other children, okay? We're going to count backwards from 77 to 57. Are you ready? 77, 76, 75, 74, 73, 72, 71. Where do I go now? 71? What comes before 71? 70, 69, 68, 67, 66, 65, 64, 63, 62, 61. And back up 60, 59, 58, 57. Hopefully you've got your home learning books and your pencils ready for a dictation. Are you ready? I'll say the sentence and you write it. Don't forget, what do we need at the beginning of our sentences? Capital letters. What about in between all our words? Finger spaces, fantastic. What about at the end of the sentence? Full stop. Unless it's a question, what would you use then? Question mark, that's right. Are you ready? Okay, your first sentence. She sang to the birds on the wing. She sang to the birds on the wing. Right, pause it here. Let yourself have a bit of time to write that. Next sentence. The fish swished their tails. The fish swished their tails. Do you remember that word, their, when it belongs to them? They were their tails. They belong to them. How are you going to spell it? The fish swished their tails. Ready for the next sentence? He said, I can make you rich. He said, I can make you rich. He said, I can make you rich. And the next sentence. She made friends with the clown. She made friends with the clown. She made friends with the clown. And the last sentence. Have a go if you can. I beg you to set me free. I beg you to set me free. Right, let's see if you got them right. Are you ready? Don't worry if you didn't, just give it a try. Here we go, read it with me. She sang to the birds on the wing. Did you get that one? Did you remember your capital and your full stop? Oh, you are amazing! What about this one? The fish swished their, did you spell there right? Did you choose the right there when it belongs to them? Their tails. What about this one? He said, did you get the AI in said? He said, I can make you rich. Full stop. Did you get your full stop? Well done. Can you read this one with me? She made, oh, had that split digraph A. Did you get it right? Friends with the clown. Full stop. And the last sentence, I beg you to set me free. Lots of our little sight words in that one, isn't there? You, to, me, and I. That's our very short sight word. Did you get them right? Well done. Well done for having a try. Come over here, let's look and see how Lydia Monks has done her artwork. So what stood out for me and Ozzy in this book was the vibrant use of colours that Lydia, the artist, the illustrator, used. And she even used sparkles in some of her artwork. And I was looking at them and I was thinking, how did she get them so vibrant? How did she get them to stand out so much? So I thought I'd have a go. So what I did was I used some paints and I painted some fish because it was under the sea, wasn't it? So I've copied these pictures. So the fish were quite easy. They're just sort of lemon-shaped painted with some lemon-shaped bits for the tails, and the snakes were just a squiggle. The octopus, or the jellyfish here, it was jellyfish with just blobs with wiggly lines coming out of them. Then I let my paints dry. If you didn't have paints, you could just use felt tip pens or pencil crayons. And then, now that it's dried in the sunshine, I'm going to use my black pen to add the details, because I think that's what the illustrator's done here to make the eyes and the mouth and the details pop out on her art. So I'm just going to do the same in the style of the artist, of the illustrator. So I'm doing little mouths, little eyes on the creatures, maybe some little stripes, make them really pop out. If I had a glitter pen, I could add some nice sparkles, couldn't I? But I haven't got a glitter pen, so I'll just leave that today. My little fish, he needs a fin. I'll draw that on. There we go. You could even give your fish little scales, couldn't you, around their heads? Here we go. This one's going to have scales all over his body and his tail. There we go. He looks pretty cool. Let's give him a big googly eye. He can have a smiley face. What about this guy over here, these jellyfish? I think they can have big googly eyes. I don't like them when I'm in the sea. I don't like coming across jellyfish. They scare me a little bit. I try and swim away from them when I go in the sea and I see one of those. How about you? Have you ever been in the sea and found a jellyfish? I'm sure they're friendly in this story though. There we go. Got their faces, they've got their details now. Let's give this little guy some googly eyes sticking out of his head. There we go. Ooh, do you think he's happy as well? They all look pretty happy in the story. Maybe it's because the mermaid has been singing them beautiful songs. So just see how I'm picking out the details using the black pen. It's just a pen that mum or dad might have lying around in the house to write their shopping lists with. I'm not using anything special, but it really does make the pictures pop out nicely. I'm going to do the angelfish now. He's got a bit of a whiskery face, so I'm going to draw his whiskers on. I don't know why he's got whiskers. Maybe it's his eyesight's not so good and maybe he has to feel his way around under the water in the dark. I don't know. Be interesting to find out. Maybe I shall get a fact book out on fish. What do you reckon? I'll have a look in the cupboard in a minute. Ah, this fish has got the googly eyes as well. There we go, draw them on. Big smile. You could add different features. I'm going to add some lines on this to make the texture of his scaly skin. We were learning about fish, weren't we, at school? Fish and amphibians and reptiles. And we found out that fish had scales, didn't we? And they have gills. I've just drawn some gills on this fish. I think I'd better draw this little fish some eyes as well, otherwise he'll feel a bit left out, won't he? There we go, little fish. I think you've all got some. Oh no, missed you out. There you go, you can have some eyes too. And you, mister. This is the one I did in felt tip just to show you that felt tips could work just as well if you didn't have paints. Okay, so there we go. What do you think? You could have a go today, couldn't you? Being illustrators. See what you can do. Choose your favourite illustrator and have a go.